Hey guys, Matt with it, BePreparedA2Z.com. Just want to show you how to use a simple loom. This loom is handmade. In fact, I made it at summer camp with the Boy Scouts, and it's just nails and a piece of 1x stock. Got instructions further down in this post. But then I wanted to show you how to actually use it with the yarn. You take a piece of yarn, I use it by the skein, and just create yourself a loop like this. And then actually tie a loop in the end of it so that you have a loop that will hook over one of the nails. I'll show you which one in a second. Just pull it down. You want this to be about 3/4 of an inch long. You don't want it much longer than that, or you get into some real problems when you start to actually make your material on this loom. What you do is you take whichever corner you want. It's usually the corner that's closest to you. And notice this piece, this can be trimmed later, but you want to keep this loop. And then all you do is you go every other nail across back and forth. And as you work this back and forth on every other nail, you will eventually create a web, if you will. And the purpose of this web is to literally create a knitted product. This actually creates a double knit. It is used for all kinds of things. I personally like it for scarves, but I know some people have made these looms very long and they can do things like afghans and blankets and all kinds of stuff like that. So anyway, you come down the one direction. You see how I'm doing this. And when you get to the end here, you just come straight across. Then you go back over the opposite nails. And what this does, this is the web that I was talking about earlier. I like to try to keep some pretty good tension on this, because by keeping the tension, you don't have it slipping off the nails. And that's really important, because when it slips off, you can lose a lot of work real quick on the layer of stitching that you're working on. When you get done with this first row, you just come across your loom like so. And then I like to take about, I don't know, 10 or 15 wraps around the loom itself. And all this does is hold the yarn in place so that you're not having any slippage, it's not getting loose. And that's the first step, if you will. Then take a crochet hook works best, but here at summer camp, well, I forgot the old crochet hook, so I found a piece of grapevine and kind of carved it down a little bit, so I've got just a little hook on here. And on the other end, I've just got, the actual vine itself. And what you want to do is you want to take, if it's the back of your crochet hook or whatever, you just want to run this down so it's right up down against the wood. And once you've got that down, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to do this all over again. You're going to take this yarn off, and then you're going to do another row. Right at the top of the nail. You come right back up to the top of the nail and just start and do the same exact thing that we did a minute ago. Create another web. As you can see here, once you get into a pretty good rhythm, you can start going a lot faster. All right, so now we've got 2 layers. Now all you're going to do is take your crochet hook or your improvised tool. You're going to slide in and you're going to hook the yarn on the bottom. You're going to pull it out a little bit and lift it up so that it comes over the top loop like so. You're going to do that on every single nail on both sides of the loom. The first couple are pretty tight, but after that they should be fairly loose, and you do need to make sure you kind of hold them over, because here in a minute we're going to push that top web down, and we want to make sure these all stay inside the nails, because this thing that we're working on right now, by taking this bottom web and moving it over the top, is actually our first row of stitching in our double knit fabric. Now, one of the problems with this on the first row is you end up with a loop that's just hanging loose. This loop, you want to just kind of hold things in place, pull it out kind of taut, hold it in place, take your crochet hook up through the bottom of the loom and just grab a hold of that and pull it down. You need that as a loop later on towards the end of this project, but right now we just need it to stay down so that it can be where it needs to be. If you don't pull that down and just kind of keep it in place, this eventually will fall apart. So that is a real important step. Once you have this all raised up and you've got each one of these loops over the nail so it's in the center, you once again take your hook and just run this top web, the new one that's on top, right down to the bottom of each nail, making sure the loops stay on top. And right now this looks like kind of a mess, and I get it. As you go along, you reach up in to your loom and you start pulling this down. And you see these loops start coming down like this. You can see this working. What's going to happen is, as you continue to build layer after layer, this material will start coming out the bottom of your loom. And all you do is you just keep doing the same thing we just did. You put another web on, you hook the one that's at the bottom of the nail over the top. You keep going until you get it done. And you can do 2 full skeins will make a scarf approximately 5 inches long, including the fringe. I'm going to come back with a finishing video later to show you how to do that part, and hopefully this will get you started. If you have something where you miss to catch a loop, like here, I missed one, you can always go take it back down by pulling these loops back over the nail as needed and fixing your mistake. Just maintain the loop over loop. That's what the double knit is. So on this one, we'll reach in here while we've got it here, we'll pull this back up over, and then we're ready to go again. This is Matt with BePreparedA2Z.com, hoping that this is a good beginning for a new project for you. Love these scarves in the winter, give them away for gifts. They're a fantastic opportunity for you to be resourceful, and they're very inexpensive, very warm. Thanks again for watching.